Welcome to the Save Point podcast, where we pause to heal, then press start. Late nights, heavy minds, but we still log on, checking you good till the weight feels gone. Be a care, self-care, line up, breathe slow. Family in the next room, love in the glow. Count to three, reset the heart, we're fine. Co-op souls control the sinking time. Brotherhood isn't blood alone, it's who picks up when your health runs low. Save Point, top of the life bar tonight. Real talk, real care, bring the dark to light. From Q to Quest, we don't grind alone. You paint your nails in midnight black, smearing comets on your hands. You say the sky feels way too flat, so you rich all its plans. You tape your wishes to the walls, like Polaroids that never fade. You hum a song of rise and falls, swearing you're not afraid. And every street light flickers out when you Cold dirty South style. Turn that shit up. From the halls of Valhalla, it's DJ Viking, Nordic God Records. Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, where we pause to heal, then press start. Late nights, heavy minds, but we still log on. Checking you good till the weight feels gone. Be a care, self-care, line up, breathe slow. Family in the next room, love in the glow. Count to three, reset the heart, we're fine. Co-op souls control the sinking time. Brotherhood isn't blood alone. It's who picks up when your health runs low. Save point, top of the life bar tonight. Real talk, real care, bring the dark to light. From Q to Quest, we don't grind alone.
Hello. How is everyone doing today? Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are enjoying your week and you guys have had a really blessed start of the year. We are coming at you, the first ever podcast of the Save Point podcast. Your hosts are myself, the Bearded Viking, and my fellow bearded gamer, Monkey Lump. How are you? How you been?
Doing all right, bud. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing well. Can't complain at all.
Doing all right. We'll see how I'm doing. I don't know. My setup is in the living room, so she had to leave the living room. She's a little mad. I'll see how we're doing by the end of this.
Well, you know, the wife is working, so I kind of have that. But she'll be home later on this evening, so it's all good. So, what's been going on with you? How have you been?
Been all right. Been doing good. You know, as good can be. You know, we hanging in there every day. The wife is easing into her new role. It's been our biggest change lately. You know, the wife changing gears and everything at work, and she went having to work the floor to not having to work the floor. So the physical toll seems to be a lot better on her. She's having to work a lot of muscles that she just got done working in college. So
Right.
She's doing all right, really. I think she's got this shit, but
I think so. I think that she has it.
I just think that, you know, that just shows that she wants to do a good job at it.
It shows that she has passion for it.
Right.
Not all the time, but, you know, she has passion for it.
Oh, shoot. And she's also doing all these cookies and whatnot in her off time. I'll have to send you a link of some of the stuff that she's been doing here lately. I think you might find them really interesting.
I'm sure. Try to understand different people's jobs and kind of everything that entails and what kind of goes through everything. It's kind of interesting to see the drive that some people necessarily have to have in order for them to push through their everyday struggle. Right. Or just their daily life in general. But before we kind of get into it, we want to welcome you guys to Beards, Boss Fights, and Balance. Our Save Point podcast is where we basically are slightly over-caffeinated gamers. We sit down and talk about men's mental health, the latest in gaming, beard care tips, and all the weirdness of life. We're not therapists. We are just guys who know the struggle. We love a good game. We believe a strong beard makes for a strong man, or at least hides the double chin. So, grab your controller, grab your beard oil, and let's talk. So, episode one. Episode one. We kind of tried to do this on a while back. It didn't really
That's all right.
take flight as well as I thought it was going to, but I think that we have the right placement for it. So basically, our channel and what we intend to do, both me and Monkey, is bring to light a lot of the topics that men deal with on a daily basis that
Hard ones.
are hard to deal with. They are the ones that they're shunned away from really talking and really bringing things to light. Gray subjects and very colorful subjects that you don't see a lot of men talking about. And that's kind of where we want to shine light on those dark points in people's lives. And we want to open up chat for you guys to talk about your life in general. If you guys have, things that you're going through and it's on the subject or the topic that we're discussing, we want you guys to be involved too. So this is going to be a definitely not this episode I want to speak of, but just in general, it's going to be a very lengthy go through. And, we're jumping right into it. Episode one, we're talking about respawn in real life, men's mental health checkpoints. Life's tough. Sometimes you need a save point. We talk mental health check ins, coping strategies, and how to survive life's boss fights without rage quitting. So we'll kind of like open the floor. We'll discuss about that for a little bit and kind of like explore how life's mental checkpoints mirror gaming save points, finding ways to pause and reset to survive life's boss fights. So, how do you deal with mental health checkpoints? How do you deal with check ins? What are some of the strategies that you use to cope without exiting stage left, so to speak? Rage quitting. What are some of the things that you do?
In my everyday life, I try to be a low stress individual. Sometimes it doesn't always work, but I always try to let go, so to speak. Um, don't hold a grudge unless it's really good. Just because somebody cut me off doesn't mean that I'm going to look for them tomorrow. Um, like I'm not trying to hold on to that resentment, that anger. Oh man, just because you were mean to me yesterday doesn't mean that tomorrow I'm going to try to be mean back to you.
Right.
Now, we got, unless things really start forcing the hand, so to speak. But, that still doesn't even really explain any of it. Like I just try not to hold any of it, hold on to any of it.
I mean, I think holding on to grudges, I think that it does more damage than anything to one's mental health. I think that it starts eating at you and deteriorating things.
Oh, yeah.
It bleeds into other facets of life. It bleeds into marriage. It bleeds into your daily interactions with your coworkers. It bleeds into your interactions with your kids. It bleeds into your interactions with your friends. Just because you had a shit day doesn't mean that you come home and you take it out on them. And I think that
Like you think about it, like I'm just because. Oh shit. Okay, we'll move on to something else. We're like, okay, well, all right. Now you got extra charges when you were ready, things like that. You're like, okay, well, I can't really dwell on the fact that I don't have that to pay that right now. I got to figure out what I can do to pay that right now. It's always about solving the problem instead of being upset about it.
Make a solution, not a bigger problem. I get it.
Right.
I get it. Do you how should I say when was the last time that you when's the last time that you really saved at a checkpoint, like your sanity, right? Like what did you do in order to cope with not allowing your sanity to take over?
Started streaming.
I mean, I think that's all of us.
Let's see. The last time I really stepped back, I quit. I was working nights, and it was driving me nuts. And my mom passed away and everything, and I was really having a hard time with it. But working nights, I was away from the kids, away from the family all the time. I was trying to adjust every day, not just like every weekend, whatever. But I was trying to adjust every day back to a daytime schedule so that I could see them, and it wasn't working out. It wasn't working out. We're like 2.5 years deep into this, and I was just about to lose it. And I quit um, on while I was down from the job. I picked up streaming, so it wasn't like I quit to stream as much as like it was a byproduct.
Right.
Like I want to do something with my time, and what do I like doing? I do like to stream. I don't get to do it all the time, but I do really enjoy it.
Do you think that your interactions that you have with your community strengthen your sanity and make you thankful that you chose that route?
Sometimes, so like it can be a double-edged sword all on the same point because it also applies pressure because they're going to expect something out of you next time. So I mean, you got to be careful with how much you dive and how far you deep, how deep that water is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been everything. I've been everything under the sun. So, but when your kids are little, that's what you do. So to be active in what they're active in.
I think that was my biggest issue with streaming because working a job that almost
Thing that I did for myself.
I think streaming was the first thing that I really did for myself too. It's because I already had fun playing video games. I had fun interacting with people. My personality was, there. And I think that that was one of the things that really kept my sanity from just going. Um, there were a lot of things that happened, and I think that I lost my sanity there at some point or another last year. It was
Crazy. I know you are.
it was between the absolute weight loss. And listen, I'm not denying me being sanity or me being sane by no means. I'm crazy as hell. I'm very bipolar. Like I'll be really happy to your face and nice to your face one minute, and then you do something or say something, and it just sets me off. So it's like it's more of a double-edged sword with me. But I was going really, really ham on streaming. It was trying to stream every day to the schedule's not working for me. I got to figure out something that's going to work, something that's going to be beneficial, something that's going to be healthy for me, my wife, my son, spending time with my family as well as spending time with the community.
That's where I'm at right now, trying to figure that out. So I understand.
I think that you'll get there. I think the biggest thing with me is not allowing all the negative shit that I was going through to affect the end result. Because when you look at my health, pushing 320, 330 pounds, the heaviest that I had ever been, running the risk of heart attack and stroke and just health issues, being diabetic, severe diabetic, to just being in the worst shape that I've ever been in, to being told like, dude, like it was like, dude, you need to get yourself in check or you're going to die. Your choice. Do you want to watch your son graduate from the seats, or do you want to watch him graduate from the sky? And I'm like, I want to be there when he walks, and either way, I'm going to be there. It's just, I want to be able to experience it with him. Like, I put so much time and effort into him. And even with streaming, it goes into if you want something, you're going to work hard enough for it,
I got a question for you though. Like,
Yeah.
how many of those moments have you had in your life at this point in time in your life?
Like you're going to die.
Like like that moment.
Oh,
This is it.
Obviously last year. I want to say the year before, when I fell.
Yeah.
They thought that I had the stroke. When I was working for GameStop, because I was working 2 locations, 40 plus hours a week. And I got home like right before my wife's birthday. I want to say like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. And it was before we were going to go. She had taken like the weekend off. So I was like, oh, I'm going to take it with you. And I think that it was like her going on vacation for like a week to Orlando. But I fail. Like, I was putting something on the shelf and I don't remember what I was doing. And I blacked out. The TV came off of the wall. Everything that was on the bookshelf underneath the TV like ended up flipping on top of me and it fell. My PlayStation 5 fell on top of me and cracked me like right on my eye. I had a broken rib. I had a fractured right orbital eye socket. My blood pressure was through the roof. I was unconscious for like a good minute, 2 minutes. My son ended up walking in. I had an entire like pool of blood right up underneath me. Like, it was starting to dry. That's how long that I was out. And like, I had a concussion. It was bad. But like, how many of those like change points in my life have I ever faced? Like, I would say maybe a handful. There weren't really any of them that I was going through when I was at a younger phase. Like, obviously I did some dumb shit when I was growing up, don't we all? There are things that I shouldn't have recovered from. There are things that I already should have been basically in the ground for, and I thank God every day, but I call it learning. I had to go through the negative shit. I had to go through the negative shit to learn. It's like, dude, don't do that again. You got to be smarter about your life. Don't do the dumb shit. Don't sit there and take an ecstasy and do an upper and then smoke a joint and take a downer at the same time. And it's like, I'm 21. I can do everything. Like, I've got the world by the balls.
Right.
No, the world literally had me by the balls. And it's like, okay, you want to play? We're going to play ball. That's basically what it is. And it hit back. I wouldn't really say it was karma, but it's like, I wanted to play and the game ended up playing me. I learned a very, big price, and I came back and was like, hey, dude, you gotta tone this shit down. Like, you gotta water it down a little bit. You can't go ape shit crazy all the time. So, I would say streaming really saved my sanity because it gave me something to kind of like drive for. But it also gave me something to like bridge that gap between my 11-year-old.
Nice.
I think that it strengthened our relationship more than anything, and I'm truly grateful for it, because I wouldn't be here with you. I wouldn't be on Twitch. No, I didn't unmute you. I wouldn't really be here with you. I wouldn't be here doing anything right now, honestly. And it's just it's what's really kept me sane. It's having a brother that is having brotherhood that you can count on, that's going to be there through thick and thin. And it's just it's kind of nice to fall back on people that care for you and love you. So,
Right.
but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Which kind of goes into our burnout, save
A
point,
little bit, yeah.
earning sanity really goes into, kind of plays a hand in burnout and how we open up about burnout. So, how do you think that burnout really plays a factor into saving your
The
sanity?
only problem about burnout is the fact that you don't realize you're burnout until you have to hit that save button.
What does that save button, like a last ditch effort?
Pretty much. Like that's a on all of a sudden understanding, man. I've either got to step away, or you're sitting there and the ambulance is saving your life, or like it's the realization, and like you don't get to hit the save button until you hit the realization. It's really hard to hear me scoring.
Here, let me turn the desktop audio up. Hold on. There we go. Try now.
All right.
I think that I have him about the same as I have myself. So, scoring, is that a little bit easier?
Who
Do you
knows? I don't talk very much.
better? Okay. He's all jacked up in Mountain Dew.
Oh, Pepsi, Pepsi.
Pepsi. Well, I'm Coke Zero over here.
Let's see. When I was 15, I was really, I would like to say the word determined, but I was probably more pig-headed. And I got into a tussle with a buddy of mine, and not necessarily like fist fight or anything, but like best friends. And you're like, "All right, I'm mad at you. I'm leaving." Oh, well, at this point in time, we were on vacation in California, and we had kayaked from this place. We were at Lake Tahoe at the edge of California and Nevada, right? And we've kayaked around to this beach, and I'm like, "Right, well, I'll walk back." I didn't realize it was on the edge of a cliff. Like, I'm at water level. I didn't realize I was gonna have to walk back up a highway that's got a drop off of over 100 feet.
Lord God. With the kayak?
No, he was gonna paddle the kayak back himself. It's like,
Oh.
all right, whatever. I was ready to leave. He wasn't. I want to go. I was done. But I slipped on the edge and I dangled from the side for like 2 hours on the edge of a cliff till somebody heard me. I kind of stopped being quite so big-headed, but I don't want to say that I completely stopped. I should have thought about it a lot harder and a lot longer at the point in time. I was just happy to be alive, so I just kind of kept going.
I'm
But
sure your
like
asshole was
it,
fucking puckered on that.
it's one of those things that sat with me, and years later, I still look back at it and going, all right, like, do you realize you didn't realize at the time how lucky you were that you hung there for almost 2 hours till somebody heard you and then came to save you. Like
Yes, we are live, Def. We are live. So could
there's
you
just those once in a while, and you remember back, like, what did I learn from that? Like now I try to think about that and like, am I really that much of a stubborn person that I don't want to try to learn from what somebody's saying to me, or that I don't want to, come to an agreement? Do I really want to fight about this now?
I feel in those situations and circumstances that outside perspectives typically are able to see what we can't see because we're so blinded by like our anger and our aggression at those points. that
Right.
sometimes it's easier for us to kind of just stop thinking there for a second and listen to what other people have to say, because it's like it's truly, it's truly that it's how does this person see me, or how does this person Def, we'll get to that question in just a second. How does this person truly see me, or how does this person perceive me, right? Because it's like we don't know how we come across. We can come across pig-headed, we can come across loud and boisterous and brash. To ourselves, we might not think that we're coming across that way. So it's like when somebody that is from the outside looking in and they see how like I'm acting, so to speak, I'm not so quick to judge and so quick to get defensive anymore, because it's like maybe they really like what they're saying really truly matters. It's like, do I come across as an asshole? Do I come across brash? Like, I don't want to come across as this or that. So maybe looking at what they're saying and kind of taking that into perspective, maybe I can kind of like alter how I interact with the people around me on a daily basis. And that's kind of how it is with the school district. It's like, I have to kiss ass. I'm
Right.
not an ass kisser. Like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not. I'm not gonna walk up
I
and
get
just
it.
kiss your ass, for shits and giggles, and just because it's like I want you to like me. But it's like when you're in when you're in the school district, that's what you have to do. Because if they like you, you come back. If they don't, you go away. Let's see. Def Callion has a question. What's the most toxic behavior y'all have experienced in a workplace?
In workplace.
I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Man, that's a tough one. Because I mean, like I spent 20 years in construction with usually kids that would try to learn construction. Sometimes I'd get adults, but a lot of times that was people come straight out of prison, So the most toxic, is the one who doesn't care anymore. And that can be on so many levels. They don't care because they don't care that they might fist fight you. They don't care because they're just going to steal everything that's at the company and go quit and find another job. They don't care. They don't want to come to work today. They just don't want to be there anymore. The level of I don't care can be very high, and that's the most toxic because it manifests, it breeds, and infects other people, bring morale down, can suffocate you at the workplace.
I would say the most toxic behavior that I've experienced in the school district is the somebody that thinks that they know everything. Because there's a very fine line between knowing everything and thinking that you know everything. And when you get to a point, so it's almost like when I was managing Hot Topic, right?
Yeah.
I was in retail for a good 6+ years, and my job as one of the managers was to intake new hires and kind of teach them the ropes and show them how to do things. And the thing that I hated the most is a new hire coming in that had already worked retail from another store, thinking that they know everything. Because it's easier for me to train you if you don't know anything.
Right.
It's harder for me to train you.
I can really feel this.
It's harder for me to train you if you've already been in the field and worked for another company, because your mindset is on the way that the other company ran things, and you come in with a biased opinion on this is the way that things should be ran. But it's harder for me to train you on a way that A company runs things compared to B
Mhm.
company. So if you come
yeah.
in with the mindset like I'm ready to learn, if you come in with the mindset, what can you teach me, instead of you don't need to teach me anything, I already know everything because I've already worked retail. Like, listen here, I get that you've worked retail for X amount of years. I get it. But you haven't worked retail for this company. This company does things differently. We have a certain way that we do things. It's how we run our store. It's how we kind of all move in a positive direction. We have a routine, these things that we do on specific days. This is how everything flows together in a natural environment. You can't sit here and do something on Monday that we do on Thursday. It doesn't work that way. It might have been the way that you did things at your other job. It's
Right.
not how we do things here. So I would honestly say the worst toxic behavior that I've ever experienced, and that's working in retail and school district, is somebody that thinks that they know everything and coming into a new job thinking they know how it's ran, and having the mindset from a previous employer. So FYI, this is for everybody watching that's out there. If you're applying for a company and you've already worked in retail and you're getting a new job, don't go in with the mindset that you know everything. Go in with the mindset of, what can you teach me to make me better at this position for this company? That will get you further in life. It's retail, it's call center experience, it's customer service. I don't care where you're working. It works that way across the board. That's a copy and paste technique that you can use out of my book at any job that you ever work at. Go in with the mentality of, what can you teach me that I do not already know? Or
Well, you have to keep that mentality as well, as like as your tenure comes into it, and you're like, okay, well, am I doing my job the best way I could do it? Like, you got to reassess yourself sometimes,
wow.
and be adaptive to learning, and that it sucks to admit that you're wrong.
Did you read what Fufu wrote?
Oh yeah, dude, no, I loved it.
Please disregard if you're not wanting responses from the peanut gallery. I've worked in many automotive repair shops, and I was physically ill from the misogynistic and or racist behavior from all levels of the staff.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't know if I've seen like I know I can't say I've seen the races. Yeah, it's rampant.
I would
But
say
also
racism is definitely a very
there's a sexism as well. So, I
toxic
mean,
behavior, especially in the workforce these days.
right.
And I think that it comes a lot from like Gen Z, not throwing anybody under the bus, but just the Gen Z mentality is just very like, what can you do for me? It's very like, I'm here for you. You're not here for me. Type of mentality. It's like, I'm showing up. That's enough. Like, no, thank you.
No, you got to bring something else to this. Oh, you're here. Great. Put your phone down and do something.
Get off TikTok. Get off Instagram. Nobody
We're
cares
not
about how
creating
you look for
videos.
work
No,
today.
come on.
Oh my God, did you see my new outfit that I wore at work today? It was so fabulous.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit. Show up to work. Put your phone away.
Yeah.
You can talk
Every
to people
day.
later on.
That's what we need. We don't need to we don't need to idolize you right now. We need you to be here every day to complete tasks.
All of your 110 followers on Instagram. I'm special. Yeah,
Oh,
that you are. You're special.
man, I am like I never wanted my kids to be bad, but we never had that worry when the kids were growing up that they were going to act like that so much as like we always worried that they were going to be the fit throwers or the ones that would get unruly in the stores and things like that. We'd always worry about that, but they never did that. Like they always acted right, and
I think it's
felt very
because
good about
they came from a good household. Like the way that you upbrung them, like you and your wife,
it. I
and
got
taught
lucky.
them right and wrong. Uh, hold on one second. What,
I
Aiden?
got lucky to be there. She would have raised them right whether I was there or not. She did good.
Emergency, real quick. Hold on one second.
Oh, all right, brother. All right, man. Yeah, but emergencies, they happen. It's how you deal with them, right? Well, Fufu, hope you're doing good, brother. Toxic behaviors, man, they can come from all sources. I don't know. I always go to work with the mindset of I'm going to try to do my best. Every once in a while, the boss will hit me with hey, we got a new procedure or something, and I'll go through it and I'll just absolutely hate it. But I have to turn around and reassess and remember that it's not mine. That's been hard, especially going from where I was crew leader for
Well, that was interesting.
20 years. Yeah, what'd you do? What did he do? What did he do?
Aiden's sitting at the door taking trash out, right? And he's like, Dad, the front door won't close. I'm like, why won't the front door close? And he was like, I don't know. He was like, I was trying to take trash out and it won't close. So I look down at the bottom and the weather seal, the bottom like piece of wood that's on the very bottom of the door that holds like the literally came off from the bottom of the door. So there's like this big of a gap on the very bottom of the door to where like air can get in and out. And it just like broke the fuck off. And I'm like, great.
Nice.
Great. Exactly what we needed right now. Exactly what we needed. Perfect. Perfect. So it's literally dangling on there by a nail, by a screw. So I just kicked the rest of the damn thing off and closed the door.
That's funny.
Story of my life.
Problem solving.
Own a house, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Fuck that shit. I don't care who you are. Whoever you are that said that, you can literally choke on a
but I
bag
wouldn't
of
want to pay
dicks.
for renting. Like I know how much I'm pay on my house, and I would not want to pay for rental.
Hell no, hell no. So we're gonna have to go out and buy a new door, which sucks, but hey. But so
They do have some of the kits that you can put on the bottom.
imagine sticking up for the person being victimized to only be yelled at by your boss's boss about me causing a scene. Well,
Dang.
being a voice for the person that doesn't have a voice that's being victimized, standing up for somebody that they can't stand up for themselves. That is a true class act. Fufu, you are a scholar and a gentleman, sir, and that is why we love you to death. Because you are the ideal person that,
He's awesome.
you're awesome. So everybody's probably wondering, why are me and Monkey wearing these Viking shirts on stream?
Wonderful shirts.
So
I have to move the beard to the side.
these wonderful shirts and this episode, or all of our episodes, I'd say, these episodes are brought to you by Smell Like a Viking. PSA, if your beard smells like truck seat, gamer sweat, and mystery nacho dust, you're committing crimes. Do the right thing with Smell Like a Viking. A little beard oil keeps it soft. Balm keeps it from going feral, and the wash gets you clean without turning your face into sandpaper. Stop making people guess what you ate in 2019. SmellLikeAViking.com. Your beard deserves better than survival mode. So, our episodes.
I love it, by the way.
Our episodes are sponsored by a local beard company that is based out of Florida. It is veteran owned. One of my really good friends, he basically started up the beard company Smell Like a Viking, which if you guys go, we are currently working on getting a code for y'all. But they sell beard wash, they sell beard balm, they sell beard oil. I believe Monkey was holding Odin Smoke. So that is one of the many fragrances that they actually have on the website. Everything is natural. Everything is locally produced, local owned. The shelf life on this stuff is absolutely amazing. The beard and body wash, I use it on my hair. I use it on my beard. The scent is very lasting. It's not oil based. So it's going to stand out. It smells good. The fragrance lasts very long, and it doesn't take a lot at all. I think it takes just a couple drops, and like your entire body is lathered up.
Yeah, I might use a little more of the shampoo, but I really haven't been going through it very fast. So no, that's nice. I'll have it for a while. And the oil is the same way. I don't use a whole lot after you've used it in the shower. It transitions well into the oil, and only needing it helps you realize you only need a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So you don't have to like absolutely overdo it.
Even for, a long beard, it's not about how much you're putting on it. It's more about where you're putting it, and how well you're getting it everywhere.
You get it sudsy and soapy, and it definitely does its job.
It does well. Well, I used to have a routine where I was doing hair shampoo and conditioner, and now instead of using like a shampoo and conditioner, I'm using the shampoo and body wash, and then the oil is my conditioner. And that's the way it should be.
So bro, regarding your story about being a manager and another experienced employee not accepting your patronizing or not wanting to act dumb on things that seemed easy for them just to please you, I think that's toxic behavior. Sorry. I know a girl who is a senior architect, meaning she's 32, has worked in the biggest architectural offices, has a ton of experience, and she started working in a different one for a better wage, and she has to act dumb in front of a 30-year-old. I don't think that it has to do with being insecure about the job. I think it has to do about when you start working for a company, and I don't care what company it is. It literally could be, you could be flipping burgers at McDonald's for years, and then you start working at like Burger King, it's not about what you know. It's about coming in with the mindset of different companies do things differently. And that's the thing that I was trying to get across is you may be experienced. You may be the most experienced person in the company. You could be the most experienced person at that retail shop or at that location. But if you come in with the mindset that you know everything, it's not that you're acting dumb. It's coming in with the mindset of what do you guys do different here? That way I can make sure not to do what I've done at previous locations. If you come in with that mindset and that attitude, you'll have me eating out of the palm of your hand. I'll do whatever I have to do in order to make sure that you have what you need and know what you need in order to make this job a well paid and well deserved. But if you come in thinking that you know every damn thing about the company and that you have nothing to learn from me, then okay, cool. I'm gonna throw you to the fucking wolves. And that's not me being an asshole. That's me with the mindset of if you're not going to treat the time that I'm here to train you like it's worth something, then I'm going to give you the bare minimum training that you need because you think that you already know everything about the company. And that's the
we gotta be
mindset.
careful, like we're getting into situational, things too. Like just because we have one approach towards something doesn't mean it fits every situation, and especially if you have a unworkable person above you, it becomes really hard to navigate that situation. That's what you're trying to do at that point in time. You're trying to navigate that situation, and then you got to reassess. Is this job really worth what? Like if you're going through really personal bad things, is this job worth that? If it's not, move on. If the job is worth it, try to figure out a way around it. Try to work with it. Try to remember, hey, this isn't my company, but I would like to still be a part of it. Except this one person makes my life suck. Now, we got to, that's where we got to remember that we're not the boss. We got to figure out a way around it. If they're doing things wrong, then we got to make sure that we're reporting that to the person above. Like you can't just delete that person.
Yeah. Now,
got to manage this.
I will say this though, in regards to the hot topic thing, right? I'm going to train you what you need to know. If you have ways of doing things quicker, and this is where previous experience comes from working at other retail jobs. If you know how to do the job across the board, great. I'm going to teach you how we do things. If you have ways of getting things done in a quicker time span so that you can get things done or you can get more things done in your allotted time, as long as you do things by the book and do things on how we expect you to do them, I don't care that you get the job done in 20 minutes that was supposed to take you an hour. But you're going to be safe while doing it. And you're going to follow protocol on how you're doing it. But as far as like, if you find ways between A and Z to make it quicker, but still get the same result, then I'm going to come to you and be like, okay, cool. So this is how you do it. Make it make sense to me on how we all should do it that way. Because yeah, you might have things that that work better at your location that we can end up making better at ours. And that's kind of how like one hand holds the other. You wash me, you wash my back, I wash yours. It's like we can teach each other different ways of doing things. But at the end of the day, everything has a protocol. You might know more than me. Cool, right? Great. Show me what you know. If we can implement it into this workplace and make things run smoother than they already are, great, cool. Let's go for it. But that, just being, egotistical and acting like you know everything and not really knowing everything, that it's kind of one of those things that it's like red flags. Then I start sitting here thinking, it's like, are you really a good fit for this company? Are you a really good fit for this location? Are you a good fit for this job? Would I teach that new employee if they showed ambitious tendencies like wanting to become a manager? I will never hold back somebody's ambitions. Period. If you have ambitious tendencies and you want to become a better person and you want to move up the ladder, I don't have an ego. I want you to succeed, because where I might fall short, you might be the one that sits there and outshines me. You might get your own store. So, yeah, I'm going to teach a new employee if they show ambitious tendencies, if they want to become a manager, if they want to become somebody in a higher role or a higher position, even for that location or another position. Yes, I'm going to teach them. But if they show that they are wanting it and they emphasize that they're ambitious and they want bigger and better things, yes. But if you come in and you act like you're not wanting to learn, I ain't got time for that. Like, I'll teach you what you need to
Right,
know,
right. I'll
and
teach you
then you
what you
can
want
kind
to
of like,
know at your determination of your own self. Like if you want to go above and beyond, awesome. Um, Not necessarily going to give all my opportunities to the new hire as much as we would share them. And if they did better, then cool. I mean, that's just how that goes. If you didn't do good enough, you got to own up to that.
mm-hmm.
Try to figure out what you did wrong so you can try to do better and not be in the mindset of I was already better.
Taking accountability.
Yeah.
People don't want to take accountability. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. And I think that that's a downfall of a lot of people because they don't want to be better. They don't want to learn. They don't want to take accountability. If they do something wrong, they want to throw other people under the bus. They don't want to own up to shit. And that's kind of that's one of my like pet peeves is like, dude, if you fucked up, just own it, learn from it,
Right.
do better. Don't continue to get in that same routine where you fuck up, you do better, you fuck up, you do better. Like, just learn from it, move on. You know, I'm not here to babysit you, but I'm here to teach you what you need to know, and you're gonna learn what I need to teach you, and how you decide to take that and move forward. That's on you. But you know, all right. So we talked about sanity. We talked about opening up about burnout. Well, at least you did. Quick tips on resetting your mental health. So identifying signs of burnout. So,
Quick tips.
what is a quick tip that you have for viewers on resetting your mental health?
You got to find that 5 minutes. Got to find that 5 minutes that makes you happy. And then, as long as it's healthy, it's usually that one thing you can hold on to. For me, it's, like when I come home, I got a couple of them, I guess, throughout the day. Things you're looking forward to. What's the one thing you're looking forward to? Got to find it.
I would say listen and not talk. If you're wanting to reset your mental health, prime example for me is I am so prone to getting off work at 2 o'clock and getting in my car and blaring music that I don't give myself time for me to reset my mental health. So there are days, it's not every day, but there are days where instead of hooking my phone up and blaring music, I just drive home and it's quiet. I'll roll
Right.
my windows down. I'll sit there in my deep thought as I'm driving on the interstate. And I just think to myself, it's like, okay, we made it through today. What went wrong? How can we change things to where they're better tomorrow? Um, so sometimes I would say just stop talking and listen. You know, your body will tell you when it needs to reset. Your body will tell you when you need a recharge. So giving yourself an ample enough time to reset. You know, I get home, I get changed. I sit in front of my PC. I contemplate what I'm doing. Do I want to stream? Do I want to play a video game? Do I want to watch a TV show? Do I want to throw a movie on? Do I want to read a book? Do I want to color? Do I want to paint a 3D figure? Do I want to design a new 3D figure? There's all these things that you can literally do that resets your mental health. So find what makes you happy. Hone in. No, that's you, Bobby. That is completely you. Do I want to rub one
I did
out?
that before I left work. No, I'm joking.
It's just finding your happy median, man. It's finding something that makes you happy and giving yourself ample enough time in order for you to make sure that you get that time for yourself. It's harder for people that have families because literally the only sane time that you have is when you're leaving work and on your way home. Because the second that you walk through the door, your dad hat is on, your husband hat is on, your house hat is on, your homeowner hat is on, all the hats, all the fucking hats. It's, I have homework. Cool. Okay. I'm hungry. Cool. Okay. So let me get food started. Let me
That's
sit
why I
down and
just
help you
try
on your
to
homework. So it's like literally
be happy with the little things
it's the time
sometimes.
it's the time that you have driving from work to home, or it may be going from home to work. Sometimes people have two times that they reset their mental health during a day. But it's also giving yourself enough time on the weekend for you to do something that you're going to enjoy. And if it's sitting down for an hour and playing a video game in darkness, or it's sitting there and sleeping, or cuddling with cats because your cat wants to cuddle and you take a nap, or an hour or 7,
Right.
sometimes you got to take that. You got to do something good for you, because if
That's
you're
all
not
right.
if you're not taking care of your mental health, maybe if you're not doing something that's going to better your mental health, then you're doing yourself a disservice, honestly, at the end of the day.
Right. You gotta be ever vigilant, like just because you're doing all right this week doesn't mean the person next to you is doing all right.
Check on your brothers. Check on the
Check
people
on
around you.
check on the people around you.
So resetting mental health. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. Why men struggle to admit when they're not okay.
Ooh.
So we did tell you guys that we are getting into things that are very gray. It's not a white and black. There's a gray area. Why do you feel that it's hard for a man to admit when they're not okay? Is it their upbringing? Is it their environment? Is it the situation that they're in? Is it their friends? What is it about a man? Do you feel that it's hard for a man to admit when they're not okay? Bobby says because when we try to admit it, we are told to suck it up.
Right. Our upbringing. Yep. Society. Yeah. How many things do we want to put into that category? It's also not knowing that it's okay to say that you're falling down. I know I'm severely bad about it, especially when I was in the construction world. Take falls, like I take single story falls, bounce back up. Like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. Like, you okay? Like, I'm all right. Don't touch me. I'm okay. And that's just physical, but emotional is harder to admit, especially.
Do you think that it's hard for us to admit it? Well, I'm going to speak for myself, but this is just a blanket general statement. It's we as men are looked at pillars. We as men are looked at as the ones that are supposed to keep everything together. We are looked at as the providers. We are looked at as security. We are looked at as the people that our kids and our wives and family come to when there's issues that are going on. So we have to be man enough and we have to be strong and we can't be weak, because admitting that we're wrong is us admitting that we as men are weak. And I think that society has deemed that as a biased opinion. You know,
Hey, I screwed up when I met the wife. I told her I had godlike powers, and that has been the oops, oops.
Avogondo says the rock corrodes if not protected and supported.
Right, right. Like just as like the real rock is just as supported by everything around it and knows when to talk to someone. You know, like having a confidant. My wife's my confidant. For real.
Your wife should be your confidant. It should be all of our wives that are our confidants. So let's use that as a bridge. So how
I mean, like it's one thing to have a brother to talk to. It's another to have that person who's gonna wake up the next day and be like, "Hey man, I made you a sandwich. Like you need to eat today."
do you feel it hard? Do you feel it harder to talk to your spouse about how we as men truly feel compared to talking to a brother? Like really, and this is getting more on a deeper emotional level, right? So me, I feel it easier for me to talk to other men about shit that I'm going through in my mental health compared to me opening up and talking to my wife, because
I'm gonna
it's
have to
just
say this.
easier.
It's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard because so look at it like it's one thing for me to be like, "Hey man, I cried." It's a whole nother for her to be sitting here watching me cry.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole nother level. So
Who tells
it's
you to
harder to
suck it
open
up?
up to. Who tells you to suck it up? Everybody.
Yeah,
Who doesn't?
everybody.
Like, even this little guy here in my head said, "Suck it up, Buttercup. You'll be all right." Okay, I got no. I'll be fine. Don't because there's also that that thought in your head of, "Oh, I don't want to fail. Oh, I don't want to be hurt. Oh, I don't want to not be able to complete this."
Yeah.
Of your own expectations.
Hamster food says yes because the spouse feels like they are doing wrong and crying, and then you feel bad for feeling bad. Then Twisted says no, one. I mean, the wife does. So it's like there's a lot of people that tell us as men to suck it up, but when you're really truly looking at it, it's more.
It's everywhere.
I don't want to throw my wife under the bus because I'm not trying to get her pissed off, but at the end of the day, it's like there are things that I can talk to my guys about. There are things that I can talk to my community about. There are things that I can talk to you guys in Discord about more on a one-on-one level because I feel that you guys get me compared to me talking to my wife. And sometimes I wouldn't say it's not like egotistical. I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing. I would just say, like, I've learned throughout the years, it's like if I'm feeling a certain way, I've learned to deal with those things on a specific level than it is to really like bother my wife with it. But if you really have somebody that's there that fights in your corner, if you really have somebody that you can count on, that you can depend on, that is it, that is your rock, that is your support, that is your foundation, and you have built that relationship on a solid foundation, then you should not be afraid to go and talk to your spouse about anything. Whether or not you are afraid of her response that she tells you to suck it up, or to get good or whatever. It's a respect thing. And I feel that in certain instances, if you can't talk to your wife about it, that's a disrespect on that level, because you should be able to talk to your wife about anything.
Right.
You know, I've gotten to the point, I lay it out to my other half. I tell her how I feel, and she tells me how she's feeling. We work it out. There has to be a mutual ground, right? You can't come at it aggressive. You can't come at it attacking her. You can't come at it telling her that she's the issue or that she's the problem, because you can't talk to her about certain things. When you get to the point to where you're comfortable with your significant other, your wife, your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever the case may be, you need to get to the point to where it's trusting and that you feel comfortable talking it out. Because once both parties feel comfortable and they realize it's like, oh, shit's going on in their life, like I really need to make myself present, it's going to strengthen your relationship. So laying things out on the table and bringing things to light from the darkness, like, it's the whole thing. It's the whole saying, like my grandparents used to say this shit when I was younger. It's like, how are we supposed to help you if you don't tell us you have a problem? You have to open your fucking mouth and you have to tell us what's going on in order for us to give you a solution to the problem. I'm not a fucking mind reader. I don't know that you had a shit day at work. But if you come at me aggressive and you come at me with an attitude and you come at me like, fuck this, I'm going to meet you with the same energy that you meet me with.
Right.
So it's like, literally check yourself before you walk through the door. Check yourself before you bring something to the table. Check yourself before you bring awareness to what's going on. You know, you have to come in 50-50. You can't come in aggressive all the damn time, you know? You can't act like a fucking bull in a china shop.
Picking the wife up the other day, I'm like, man, I had a shit day today. You know? As I met her, like, I tell her, let her know, like, I had a shit day, or she'd tell me she had a shit day. I'm like, all right, I won't push that button, okay? Now, you know, what are you doing? Or look at it like another form of like, okay, I'm sorry, man. What can we do to make it better? Do we need to stop and get food on the way home, or are we cooking when we get home? Oh, we don't. I get it. I won't cook when I get home.
We're stopping and getting ice cream, damn it.
That's right. Chocolate and ice cream.
Then you get home and then the kids are like, where the fuck did you guys get ice cream? Your mother and I had a shit day. Leave us the fuck alone.
That's why it took us 3 hours to get here, okay?
It was either ice cream or it was us clawing each other's throat to death.
We just had to go.
I like living.
Work this out.
I like breathing.
Said, we have to work this out.
And sometimes
feel better. You know, like that's the other thing. It's like you're the person that makes your other person feel better. Like that's one of the responsibilities you take on. Having responsibilities are not always easy.
Do you agree that aggressive sex is a way for you to cope with mental health?
Yes.
Like sometimes you just have to sit there and just say, come here. Fucking hammer one out. Get your endorphins running. Get the way that you're feeling about yourself so much better.
You got to think about it like on a connection level too. I mean, that's the person you're connecting with. Like,
I feel like sex has always been a way for me to deal with it. Yeah, ice cream or divorce, you choose.
Good.
I'm gonna choose ice cream. I like being married. I like my marital life. You know,
ice cream every time.
You know, shit. There's tons of ice cream. You know, there's soft serve. There's yogurt. There's frozen
I know how to
yogurt.
make ice cream. We'll be all right.
Hell yeah. You got to find something that works. But I feel like if you're having a shit day and your wife's having a shit day, sex is always that that medium ground. It's like, let's fuck, so to speak. let's go at it. And then afterwards, it's like, oh, I feel better. You feel better? Yeah, I feel better. Like my aggression's gone. Because your mind's not thinking about it. It's on other things. It's like, oh, shit, let's go for round 2.
That's almost like a save point. Ding, ding, ding. Or a transition. I mean, that's not bad.
Hamster says, just like this marriage, I'm getting rocky road.
Oh, no, I would never say that. I know where the knives are. They might.
Biased opinion, I'm going to stick with vanilla. I'm going to stick with vanilla. I don't want any innuendos. But yeah, just, man, dude, mental health, it's a bitch. And sometimes if you don't have the right people to talk it out with, it will literally eat you alive. And it's just, you have to find the right people. Sometimes people don't see things as a problem, as it's status quo. Hard to see their own behavior as a problem. If it's how they always work on that same level for their entire life, it sometimes takes huge life changes for some to figure out things are a problem if no one is willing to tell them.
Right. We've talked about that.
I agree. I agree.
How do we know we hit rock bottom, or how do we know that we've created an issue unless somebody lets us know? And then you have to be. We were talking about that as how do you get a good mindset for workplace? But like how do you get to be to where you're doing going through life all right? You got to remember to be able to take criticism and learn from it, or not.
You can't have tough skin with that shit. You can't be thick-skinned. You have to be willing to listen to other people's opinions and other people's perspectives on things, because we as men, and this doesn't just go for men, it also goes for females too, because I want to speak for everybody. But it's very like we go through life with blinders on. We live a certain way, we act a certain way, we go through things a certain way, we have a certain perspective that we look at everything in. And sometimes we don't know that we have a problem unless we allow other people on the outside to be like, dude, so I don't know if you notice this or not, but you're doing this the wrong way. And when we allow that and we have our emotions in check and we don't feel like we're being curb checked, right? We don't feel like somebody is intruding on our environment. We allow them to speak their mind, because 90% of the time, perception is key. So how other people perceive us is definitely an issue. And if people perceive us as an asshole and brash on more than one occasion, maybe that's a sign that we need to change how we're acting. We can't just continue going through life as an asshole and brash. Hamster Fruit, I think that it's why I always hang out with both of you and the group. It helps me use humor to deal with my sadness. It's, we find the light. We're like the fucking, we're like fucking Carol Ann and Poltergeist, and it's like, go to the light, Carol Ann, go to the light.
That's like what I said. I try to go through every day with some sort of positive attitude. You got to be happy about something. You can't be upset every day, all day. You got to try to find that light that makes you happy.
Yes, we drive on. We find the easy path without doing the hard work. We gloss over it, move on, and hope it changes, if we even want that change. This is why I love doing what I do. It's, they speak. People hear, people read, people see it. We're not here to cast blame. We're not here to post, to poke judgment. We're not here to cast judgment on anything. We're here to shine light on things that we as men typically don't really look at. We don't look at other perspectives. We have a 1 and 2 lane thing. We don't see anything that's happening on either side. And that's where like the perspective of the other people come into play, is like, if shit is going on and we don't see it, we rely on our spouse, and typically it's our spouse. I don't know. I can't speak for Monkey, but I can definitely speak for me. It's my spouse. My spouse will be like, dude, you're fucking up. Like, if you're coming in with an attitude to Discord all the time and you're having a shit day, other people see it. change
Right.
it because
If I
they're
woke up with a bad attitude in the day, she'll see it right off, and she's like, "You better correct yourself." I'm like,
mm-hmm.
"Oh man, I'm not trying to put that." I feel like there's a vibe to everything, you know. Like I'm not trying to push that vibe out on her, and
No,
then her have a bad day. You know, like and you know, like that self awareness is tough
I don't want to
sometimes. You
change
know,
the. I don't want to
and
change the vibe
acceptance to
in.
understand.
I don't want to change the vibe in the room. I don't because my bad attitude that I have. I don't want it to bleed into other people.
I don't want to change the vibe in the room, but I do want to uphold or create my own vibe, dude. I will create a vibe in a room.
just let's call it for what it is. It's your aura.
It is, man. Like I
Monkey
shine.
walks
I don't
into
know
the
what to tell
fucking
you.
room, light shines from the ceiling, spotlights directly
And
on
there might be
him.
a dance move
He's got
involved, a
fucking doves that are
spotlight.
fucking released from cages behind him, like
It came out of the beard. I don't know what you're talking
fucking glitter cannons
about.
behind that just absolutely go off. I don't want to change the vibe. You know, I would much rather change my attitude and change the way that I look at things before I affect other people. Because honestly, at the end of the day, she really made a good point. Like I was having a shit week and I was taking it out on a lot of people in my Discord because it's like, it wasn't like me directly affecting it or directly like fucking up the vibe, so to speak. But it was like, they're here for you. If you're going to treat them like shit, and you're going to talk down to them, they're not going to stay around for very long.
Right.
And that is the opposite of what I am trying to uphold.
Right,
you
but
know,
that comes down to being able to accept something. If you're not ready to accept it, then you're not ready for the transformation.
I agree. Avogando
I know when I was
says,
younger, I was not ready for the transformation. Just like Avogando when he just dredged on. You know, I did the same thing. I dredged on for years, very stubborn,
so
till I
of
found a time to
course,
be accepted.
I'm speaking from my own experiences. I droned on wanting change, couldn't figure out how to change, and just grinded. I never seen a problem with my attitude, how I acted, how I was to everyone. I found out after my divorce that my issues were the cause for it. I did a ton of self reflection through journaling and changed my mindset from where I was to a growth one. And I am 100% a hugely different person than where I was. You know, it's so I got to commend you on that because you saw the problem, you realized where the problem originated from, and you wanted to change, and you're a better person
Right.
because of it. A lot of people in that situation, right? And I'm speaking in general. This is another blanket statement. A lot of people that would have been there would have wallowed in self-pity. You know, oh, my wife left me. Oh, I'm a horrible person. They would have walked around with this huge fucking rain cloud above their head that bled into every other thing that they did, their friendships, their relationships with other people. They wouldn't change for the world. You saw that there was an issue, you realized it, you wanted to change, you took the steps in order to change. So I got to commend you on that one. Because you're the real one. You're how people should be, you know, seeing that there's a problem and wanting to change that problem, because not a lot of people will do that at all. You know, that was me 13, 14 years ago. I never saw that there was an issue with myself until people started bringing it up, and it's like, wow, okay, cool, well, fuck you. You know.
Yeah. There's always that initial mindset of, oh man, I hate you guys. And then the acceptance will come through, and it doesn't happen overnight.
It never
It's
does.
still, so even now, it doesn't change. Still doesn't happen overnight. Figuring out that there's something going on, positive or negative, is the first step.
You got to want a different narrative for your life. You got to want to change, because if you're not going to want to change, then you're not going to change for anybody. And there has to be a reason that you want to change. You know, if it's just because like I want to be a better person, it's like, okay, cool. Do self-reflection, figure out what needs to change,
Yeah.
put in the steps, work on your way, do what you need to do.
The wife started putting out her, what do you want to call it? Good karma, positive vibes. We started manifesting. Yeah, we're trying to manifest good. And that's when, shortly after is when she got her job change finally that we've been working on for months. So sometimes it's that mindset, even though you feel like you're doing the best, oh man, maybe I could do something different and better. Gotta try.
Don't feel sorry for flooding chat with your issues. That's what we are here for. That's what this podcast is for. Our podcast
Heck yeah, brother.
is for you guys. You know, if there's something that we're talking about and it strikes a chord, feel free to put your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions into chat. That's why we're here. This is the podcast for men talking about men things. We want you guys to feel just as comfortable watching us and talking to us that we feel as comfortable being in front of a camera talking to you. Because sometimes, like I'll tell you, I'm a little stressed out right now. My asshole's so fucking tight that if I was to sit on a piece of fucking coal, I'd squeeze out a fucking diamond right now. That's how tense
Look,
I
I'm
am.
doing better now. When we started this, I think I left an impression on the chair. But
But it's like yeah, I mean we're fine. This is our first podcast show for this show. Yeah, both of us are coming from other things, and it's one of those things where it's like we wanted to do this for the longest time, but we never had. I wouldn't say that we didn't have the outlet, because we did. It's just the other people that were a part of the outlet weren't comfortable enough to talk about it. It was like one word answers.
it just wasn't part of that programming.
I don't think that I don't think that it was. I think that it was part of the programming, but I think that it didn't really take off the way that we thought it was. Like, we didn't get the reception for it like we thought we were going to. So that's why we kind of like, we're not breaking off. We're doing our own thing. Like, we're still a part of our other outlet. It's just, this is something that we can really hone in and talk about things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis, as well as bring up men's issues. And that kind of like takes us into the whole different, seg points and segments and talking points. And, it's,
it's different. So it just didn't work.
It makes.
But we had to acknowledge that and let go of what we were trying to do. We're trying to force other people to do things that
right. It was okay for what we were wanting. It wasn't okay for the outlet we were wanting it on.
Right.
And we have to have, it definitely forces change, because it makes people think about and talk about things that they normally don't think and talk about. It kind of makes me run into the, if only real men had autosave, though maybe not for our bad beard trims,
Oh no. I do. I want that rewind. Every once in a while I want that rewind button. I don't know if it's bad beard trims for me. Sometimes it's this thing. I need a rewind button to not say certain things because I did stupid.
It's open mouth insert foot.
Oh yeah.
It's all the time with me. It's like, should I really have said that at that point? It's like saying the most inappropriate thing at the most inappropriate times, and then realizing after you said it, it's like, maybe I shouldn't have said it at that point. Maybe I should have said
it. This is what I really meant.
In my head, in my head, it sounded better. When it came out, it didn't sound as good as I thought it was going to. Like when I rehearsed it.
Having half of a conversation. Like, I had the full conversation up here, but only half of it came out.
That's all the fucking time with me.
And the worst thing is it happens to the wife all the time. Like, I'm like, this is what I'm doing to her. I'm like, I am subjecting her to half of my stories or half of my conversation because I don't know what happened. It just didn't work. The mouth didn't work.
It does take a ton of courage to seek to help others. Not enough people talk about men's mental health. I know since I have changed, I started learning a new role with helping others as well. I know it's terrifying depending on what happened. After all, peer-to-peer help is about all I can do for now. And then Hamster says,
Heck yeah,
I'm the
man.
worst at saying the quiet part out loud. I think we as men run the same issue. Things that we shouldn't say out loud, that we should say in our head, deep in thought, deep in translation, tend to
Fufu is the
escape
best at it.
our mouth. And it's the most inappropriate things at the most inappropriate times is the best way that I can say it. It's
That's
just
how it always happens.
that's the way it always will. But it's very funny to see people's reactions when you just word vomit.
Yeah.
It's like, did he really say that? I think that he did. I think he did. I think what he meant was.
I think if you look close, he's crying. So yeah, he did see that.
So it's it's. I think some of the signs for burnout obviously would be being aggressive over simple things, being irritable, not having drive, not wanting to do something that you say that you love, not having passion for something. It's, burnout can happen for anything. It can happen for playing a video game. It can happen for just being social. It can happen for watching a TV show that you watch all the time. It's just burnout. It's like I'm tired of doing it. Like the way that I typically handle burnout is that I'll turn the lights off, I'll close the blinds, I'll lay down, I'll take a nap, or I'll just shut all of social media off. Like I won't jump in Discord. I'll be completely quiet. But
not just me. Like I believe that's what my kids do. My wife does. I do. My kids sometimes, and they'll go ahead and take it to the extreme of, I'm going to make the entire room dark as well. Like just shut down for a minute. We'll get back at this again tomorrow.
Okay, Dracula.
I know, right?
It's almost like a Dracula. Like you can literally tell if somebody is
Except
we're
shutting down for the night.
Yeah, but it's like if somebody is burnt out at something, you can really see it and feel it because it almost drains the energy from the room.
It's a vibe, man. Like I say, I feel everything with a vibe, and I try to meet it with a positive one every day.
It's so hard to meet it with a positive, though. It's like as much as you try and as hard as you try to bring that positive vibe and that positive energy to it, it's almost like looking at burnout. And the best way that I know how is to treat burnout like you treat a succubus. It's just, it drains you of everything: emotion, passion, drive, interactions. Just it's everything. So finding out ways of handling burnout without coming across aggressive or passive aggressive is, one of those things. It's like we as men need to figure out a way that we handle our burnout without coming across as succubus. And sometimes it's just about being quiet and listening, reading the room. Because if you can't read a room and you're having word vomit and you're saying everything, you're saying those quiet things out loud, it's going to be a very interesting scenario, to say the least, and in a group of people, and you're going to get mixed emotions and mixed feelings from everybody. It's it's I don't know, it's hard. It's just hard. It's rest your wins, your boundaries. You're just your safe points. It's just it's everything, and it's everything rolled into one. Like you have to know when to walk away. You have to know when to pause your game or when to save it. It's
I've had enough today. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna sit in the dark. I'm gonna go to bed. I'll wake up tomorrow. I'm gonna try again.
I'm gonna go home and eat a pint of Rocky Road ice cream.
Oh yes, I am.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna eat it in my fucking moo in the dark while I'm watching fucking Uptown Girls on TV. Cause that's my way of handling burnout.
We would like to go to the League of Their Own. Throwback.
Oh yeah. So what? League of Their Own. That's Rosie O'Donnell. That's Tom Hanks. That's Madonna. Such a good cast. Listening to Dashboard Confessional. Yeah, yeah.
It's
definitely.
not bad. I like that one.
I like it. I like it. So
yeah, sometimes music can change our vibe, even just between like I've noticed that when I've had a bad day, I tend to let more out. And when the wife has a bad day, she tends to let more out. And being able to accept the flow of information without letting it penetrate, so to speak, is essential.
do you gauge the level of bad day that your wife drops on you that basically lets you know whether or not the amount of bad day that you need to let out? Like, obviously you're not going to match, like, I had a shit day. Oh, I had a worse day than you. Do you limit the amount of bad day news that you let out depending on the amount of bad news that your wife lets out?
I do that anyway. Just because I'm not trying to flood somebody else with every little problem I might have had throughout the day. Some things you got to chop up to just, oh, shoot, oops, and, move forward with it. Other things do hit harder and more personal, like on a more personal level. And I do usually end up, letting that stuff out. So,
Do you feel that certain things that cause you to have a bad day are very minuscule compared to others? Like, it's like, oh, I had a bad day because my kid did this in class, or oh shit, I had a bad day because like I caught 2 of my kids cheating on a test, compared to that's shit that I can deal with on the own. That's not shit that I need to really let my wife know if she's fucking coming apart at the seams. Like,
yeah, I don't hold on to little things like that. You got there's levels of, oh shit. And
there's definitely oh shit
how
levels.
much oh shit we're going to dump on somebody is key. See, I mean, there's one thing to talk about the situations, there's another one to dump it on somebody and then have them be like, "Oh God," and, like the way you present or you talk about a situation can also de-escalate or escalate the conversation.
It could, depending on depending on the environment that you're in. It can either
Right.
de-escalate things or it can escalate depending on who you're talking to.
Now, if I immediately turn into, okay, well, Billy broke his leg, she's gonna freak out, right? But if if we've talked about it and like, yeah, everything's gonna be all right, I just want to let you know everything's gonna be all right. We've talked about it. I just want to let you know we already went to the hospital. We've already got it fixed. We're all gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. All right. Okay. But Billy broke his leg. Okay. Well, we tried to soften it just a little bit. No, I'm just word playing here, but you know what I mean.
If you come at it that you have a solution and that you've already went through the steps in order to make sense an issue better, it softens the blow. It's like, hey, Billy broke his fucking leg, but it's okay. We've already taken him to the hospital. He's gonna be fine. Like,
okay. Right.
Getting
So
past that initial shock
we can just go home.
Getting past the initial shock of, hey, Billy broke his fucking leg. Like, what have you done to fix the situation?
Right.
Oh, I don't know. He's over there with a
Is it
fucking
still
tourniquet
hurt?
on his
Is it
leg.
crying? Where are we at in this operation?
He's got a bone sticking out the right side. He's in pain. He's over there howling. Like, he'll be all right. No. Like, if you come, I feel like if you come with a solution, be like, hey, we had a shit day. This is what happened, but this is what we did in order to fix it, or this is what we did in order to take care of it. I feel that that's more adequate than just coming at it very like, here's this. Do with it what you may. Avogado
almost
says,
how do you present, like coming out with how do you present bad information to someone? Because that's what it is. And if you want a little bottom line in here, like that's what it is bad information, and how well you can transmit that bad information to your partner is how well you survive.
so it's like, so Aiden's grandfather, M's stepdad, right? Very non-emotional person, very
Yeah.
like not sincere at all. Like he doesn't know how to read the room and he doesn't know how to read emotion whatsoever. So Aiden's grandmother, we call her Nana, or he calls her Nana, and he calls the grandfather Papa. They have a group of people that they go out to eat with all the time, and it's like once a week. And there's two couples, and one of the couples is John and Linda. And we realized, or we were told earlier this week, that John and Linda had went on a cruise. They were celebrating, and they just wanted to get away and have a vacation.
Yeah.
During the cruise, Linda passed away in her sleep.
Wow.
And John is still stuck on said cruise for, at that time, he was stuck on the cruise for another 3 days. So it was very like, I found out, Em told me, he was like, hey, don't say anything to Aiden. Let's talk to Aiden when Aiden gets home. So I'm like, cool. Let's gauge the situation and gauge the, everything. So we gauged it. And when we came home, like I wasn't going to say anything to him until Em got home. So Aiden got home and grandfather proceeded to call him. It was like, hey, I got bad news for you. Linda passed away in her sleep on the cruise. And it's like, there's an easier way of softening that blow to an 11-year-old that has emotions that are attached because this is somebody that he knows.
Right.
So it's like you have certain ways of like coming at them. You don't just like rip the fucking Band-Aid off and like in one clean swoop and be like, she's dead. She's died. Sorry. Like, there are ways to soften that type of information that you deliver to an 11-year-old, you know?
And knowing, it's also about recognizing who you're delivering information to.
But it's like, dude, like, do you not understand the person that you are giving this information to? Like, are you not reading his emotions? Like, do you not understand that he's an 11-year-old and doesn't know how to deal with shit like that on his own? So then it's like we had to sit there and be like, hey, bud, we heard that everything is going on and we heard this is what happened. Like, are you okay? Like, how do you feel? Like, do you want to talk it out? Very like motherly, fatherly instinct is like softening the blow, bringing it up in a way to where like if he wants to talk about it, he's going to talk about it, but allowing him to feel emotion without coming at him sideways. And it was rough because it's like, how do you bring up death to an 11-year-old when that's all the 11-year-old knows? Because he lost his grandmother or his great grandmother, a few years back. Em lost her great, grandmother a few years back. Like it was a huge thing for the family. So it's like anything that we do that involves the great grandmother, like they'll go for like Mother's Day and put flowers on the, columbarium, or they'll go and sit and they'll talk to her like, her birthday or Christmas or, whatever.
That's
but
it's
it's
the
like
hardest change for real.
It's hard because you never really truly get over death. You learn to live with it.
No,
And I think that it's harder to deal with it and live through it, especially on big, monstrous occasions. And those would be holidays.
Yep.
Mother's Day is never going to be the same. Christmas is never going to be the same. Thanksgiving's never going to be the same. Because it's like
the wife and I's hardest times.
You expect those people to be there, and they're no longer there with us. Yeah, they're with us in spirit, but they're not with us mind, body, and soul. So it's like you have to kind of read the room, and you have to be able to maneuver through those situations in a very like eggshell approach. Like you have to be able to walk on eggshells around those type of things. And still, like years later, after this is already done, like it's still a hard situation to deal with. But it's like we've learned, like death is inevitable. Death is going to happen no matter what. You can't sit there and be like, no more death, and then just hit the stop button, because it's shit that we all deal with. And it's like the holidays are always going to be that really rough time for every one of us to emotion wise, because we wish other people were there with us. We wish that we could talk to those people, and it's like you can talk to them. They're not going to respond, but you can talk to them during your quiet times, your save points, your drive home, your resetting points, and that's kind of where all those things kind of play into another. Avogando says, I know something that saves me from burnout is a nice brain dump. I know my limitation of emotional processing, though, and I can't really do it in my mind. However, I have to write it out. So keeping a journal, obviously, whether you write music, whether you write just memory dump, emotions, feelings, whatever, definitely having a journal at hand is a way of kind of dealing with that. And I completely agree, because I myself write in my journal. I typically end up writing music and then putting that to effect. But good for you. I like that. I like the whole journal entry type thing.
That's a good reset.
Let's see. So we talked about struggling. We talked about checkpoints. We talked about burnout. We talked about how save points can be rest, wins, boundaries. No, you're nope. Sound alerts are turned off, Bobby. And I did that exactly for that. Thank you very much, sir. So our transition basically to the end is, we beat the boss barely. Now it's time to see what loot dropped from this mess. So loot drop in particular, quick fire tips, sleep, talking, small resets. So what are some of the loot drops that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, on how you see, what you utilize, what you move on? Because I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of shit that drops. Obviously, both of us play Diablo. We play a lot of other games. And when you beat a boss, there's a lot of things that drop on the ground.
Right.
We have to look at the gear to see what gear is going to suit us and what gear is going to work with our build that we're going for. So how do we look at that as a whole? And I'm going to open this up to chat too. How do you guys look at things that drop from the boss?
You gotta think about it from a whole multitude of perspectives of what level of loot you're looking at here. Sometimes you just gotta be happy to be alive. But
So the mindset of we barely beat it, but we beat it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always a good day.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. You know, we look at small victories. Small victories are definitely good save points. Um, I would say, you know, sleeping. Sometimes it's a nap. Sometimes it's a
Oh, yeah.
cat nap. Um, sometimes setting boundaries. I would say, especially if you have family members that don't really respect boundaries, you got to set certain boundaries and relationships um, that come with resets. It's like, hey, listen, I just got home and I know that you've been here all day. Can you give me like 30 minutes for me to unwind and unpack everything that I've done today? Let me get changed. Let me get into some comfy clothes. Give me 30 minutes and then the rest of the night is yours. I'll focus on you. I'll take care of you. We'll go eat dinner. We'll fix something together.
Right.
That's with me. Like, you
Yeah.
got to set those small boundaries. It's like, come on, give me 30 minutes and I'm yours. Like, do you do that?
Um,
Or
I
is
don't
there
know.
not a time
I
frame
don't
for you and the
have
wife?
I don't have a lot of that like the built up anxiety, but like I know like if it's where I'm at is I always try to be there for um the wife's built up anxiety. And you know, I know she does. She listens to me too. Sometimes I gotta take five like our dog that we gotta do that. Go outside, get off me. Get off me, dog. I don't know. Sometimes we do got to do that with the kids. You know, well, they'll do that with us. They need just a minute, and then they'll come work it out. The wife and I don't tend to take too many minutes um, apart that we don't each understand. So I don't quite have that one. No.
I I think it's the whole mindset thing for us. You
Yeah, we
learn.
get our mind right. You know, like when the wife and I, we get our minds right, but we can do it side by side.
This is an awesome way to look at it. I have been working with AI to analyze my personality to assess my skills and assign them in a way that is geared more towards gaming. I am a level 5 sovereign sage chronicler, and the whole system kind of makes quests as things I have to do in real life. I gain XP by completing the quests. It's not 100%, but it's fun to do, and knowing my skills, I learn more towards them to be a better, or towards them to
Be a
better
better me.
be me. And I think that that's the whole gist of things. It's like, you got to look at life, you got to look at gaming, you got to look at things as quests. You know,
Yeah.
it's like going through a boss battle. And I think that this is the easiest way for me to explain this, because I've had to explain this to my kid multiple times. It's, if you're playing a game, right, and you're going into a boss battle, and the boss is absolutely destroying you, killing you every step of the way, killing you every time that you walk into the room, killing you when you move right, killing you when you move left. You have to understand the mechanics of the boss. You have to be able to counter the boss's moves, and you have to plan ahead 2, 3, 4 moves. Fucking you without taking you out to dinner. It's you gotta learn. You gotta learn. You know, if you're going in and you're doing the same thing every single time, key point, maybe you don't do the same fucking thing that you're doing every single time. You got to change it up. Figure out, you know, what goes against the boss. Figure out what counters the boss. If the boss is fire, figure out what his weaknesses are. You got to choose what battles to go for, you know,
Yep.
because if you choose wrongly or if you choose poorly, you're gonna have a bad time, and that shows in all aspects of life. Like you gotta know, you gotta understand which battles to pick, because some battles you can't
Choose your
win.
battles wisely.
Like I'm know that there's certain things that I'm going to die on my hill. There's certain things that annoy the hell out of me. There are certain battles that I know that I can win, and there's certain battles that I know that I can't win. Do you think that I'm going to go to my wife and I'm going to choose a battle that I can't win? Fuck no. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to treat that like Pandora's box.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't want to open Pandora's box. I don't want hell rain down on me. I like living.
Assess that situation.
I'm going to assess the situation and I'm going to plan accordingly. I'm one of those things that annoy the hell. Yep. But I love you to death and I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's right.
You know, that's true friendship right there, is to call people out on their bullshit and call people out when they're fucking up. And I call you out on things all the time. But also, you call me out on things all the time. And I think that that's what I think that that's works. I think that is what works well, because you
Try to
have
work
to.
together. You know, you're not necessarily trying to work apart, trying to work together to equal out one goal. You know, and sometimes that goal is making it till tomorrow.
There's there's a little thing that I like to call accountability. You have to have somebody there that is going to hold you accountable, and you're going to attack things at the same time. Being accountable for your actions, understanding where you fucked up, understanding where you messed up, understanding things that need to change. And I think that accountability is the number one thing that we all deal with. Sometimes we lack the ability for accountability, but that's okay, because it's okay to not be okay. But it's how we deal with things and it's how we move on. So, other than that,
I'm
do you
gonna
want to add
remind you
anything?
guys to get yes, beard products are wonderful. I love them. They're wonderful.
Yep, we definitely gotta thank Smell Like a Viking. You know, again,
Smelllikeaviking.com.
it is. So smelllikeaviking.com. If you guys would like to purchase locally owned, veteran owned beard care products that don't go bad, that
Well, it's
aren't
local for the
it's local to Florida.
Floridian. Yeah.
So if you guys are local and you guys want to check out a good beard care company, they offer really amazing prices on their beard care, their beard and body wash, their beard oil, and their beard balm.
But even though I'm nowhere near Florida, I still love the product.
He
It is
is.
wonderful.
He is. So we had the ability to try out their products. I was able to meet with the owner and really good friends with the owner. So he's sponsored our podcasts, and he is currently working on getting a code for you guys to use for purchases on the website.
Right?
But
That'll
it's
be fun.
got flavors and scents from North Sea to Odin Smoke to actually
Yeah,
let
that
me
cabin.
yeah,
That one.
cabin scents and tropical scents and floral scents and sandalwood, like all the rustic Viking smells that you would typically smell going into like a great hall. So if you guys would like beard care products on your beard oil, your beard balm, your beard and body wash, definitely check out smelllikeaviking.com, because your beard deserves better than survival mode.
Heck yeah.
And with that being said, next time, our next podcast, we are going to be discussing patch notes for your mind, life updates, discover small mental health tweaks that can patch bad habits to level up your mood and improve your daily XP gamer style.
Sounds
You
like fun.
love the lemongrass beard wash. Their lemongrass
Heck
is
yeah.
definitely a good flavor, a good scent, and it's long lasting too. So you're not gonna have
It is.
that very beard oily thing, beard gunk, beard buildup. So
And the
definitely
scents
check
last
it
me
out.
all day. I come home from work and I still can tell that I've got it on, and I'm not really using that much.
It's not a heavy scent and it's not a heavy smell, but it's enough to where you know that you're clean.
Yeah, it's not too. It's not overpowering, and it's pleasant. So,
But yeah.
like it.
So, like I said, next time we're going to be talking about the patch notes for your mind. Concept is going to be life updates discussing how small mental health tweaks can patch bad habits and improve your daily XP, all with gamer humor and real talk. So, again, like we both said at the beginning, and I want to reiterate this, guys, we are not therapists. We are just guys who know the struggle. We love a good game. We believe a strong beard makes for a strong man. And, we are here to bring the struggles that men deal with on a daily basis to light. So, do they have a ball wash also?
I
Lemongrass
think the
smell.
body wash would cover that for you, sir.
It may. It's body wash, so it definitely
Body
will cover your balls. But we love you guys. We thank you guys for being here. Until next time, I am the Bearded Viking. My co-host,
I am
we have
love.
Monkey Lump. But from our family to yours, we love you. We appreciate you guys being here. Thank you very much for the follows. Until next time, pay attention to our Discords. If you guys want to end up joining Discord, do exclamation Discord in chat. That should give you a link to our Discord channel. We'll be posting when we go live. Monkey, have we decided when the next time that we're doing it? Are we doing it, the last Saturday of every month?
You have that one disabled, Discord disabled, by the way. I think, yeah. I
think
that's
so.
where we'll be at right now, but we'll talk.
Okay. So as of right now, we are going to end up talking, but if we do it at the end of February, it will be February the 28th. And it'll be roughly around the same time. So like 5 o'clock-ish Eastern Central Time or Eastern Standard. But we'll put all that information in the notes.
Like that.
It was definitely awesome meeting you, Avogando. We appreciate you coming in and hanging out and chatting with us. But remember, stay healthy, stay beautiful, be good people. February the 28th, not the 30th. February the 28th. This is not leap year.
February 30th. There's no 30th no matter what in February.
Yep. So February the 28th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be good people, do good things. You guys, what I want you to do one good thing for somebody. Pay it forward. When we come back on the 30th, I want you guys to let us know what you guys ended up doing. But until then, from our family to yours, we love you. We care for you. Thank you so much for being here, and we will catch you guys later.
Later.